Hello, my friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. If you're here, please kindly say hello in the chat so I know that you're here. And also, please take a second to put a like. That will help me with visibility. I would really appreciate the like. As always, before we commence, you can join my Patreon private group by following this link. It's basically where I have my main play in the market, which is referred to as the Millionaire Spreadsheet. It's basically a plan of the coins that I bought, where I bought, with the exact the percentage that I bought, how I diversify dollar cost average, what my strategy is for the overwhelming majority of my portfolio. Also, you have the 50 to 100x coins there in the $99 tier, which I believe will deliver huge gains in the euphoria phase. Some of them will not. And you have general market updates and my newsletter. So pretty much everything that I do crypto related is on there. As always, before we say hello to everyone, we're going to talk about what's happening in the market. Currently, XRP is stuck at 51 cents roughly. Bitcoin is also stuck, and generally the whole market is stagnant and nothing is happening. Usually what has happened during the corrections in this year in 2023, Bitcoin would basically have like a V-bottom formation and like really skyrocket out of there and make new highs. Currently, that's not happening. We are still keeping it 100% the way we keep it. We are holding our entries, the wonderful entries that we bought much lower during the FTX collapse and the Sam Bankman-Fried basically scare, where Bitcoin was at roughly 15,000 and Ethereum was under $900 and XRP was at 35 cents. And basically, coins were much lower. And so basically, that's where we dollar cost average and diversified. And we're going to hold those entries. So we hold no matter how scary the narrative is. As we've mentioned in the past cycles, we've also had moments where we bought coins after a 90% crash and then they crashed 90% again. That is integrated into Millionaire Spreadsheet, which is exactly why you have entries that are much lower. Of course, some of the coins are going to nuke, even if they go lower. With some coins, we're going to add maybe an entry or two. With some, we're not going to add. But like generally, it would be wonderful to actually see a market crash because then all of our targets would be executed. For example, I'm referring to, as you well know, not many targets would. A certain coin, I can't name it, I'm not going to name it, have not been executed. So I'd love to see all of those entries be executed. And also at the same time, we know that, for example, with Ethereum alone, only one entry has been executed on the Millionaire Spreadsheet. So I would love to see the market give us more entries, at least 2 more entries. So we have at least 3 entries, but I would actually love to see all those entries hit for Ethereum. Of course, if that would happen, that of course means that the old coins that are already very low that we bought after huge crashes are probably the coins that will nuke another 90% after having nuked 90%, which is fine. We've spoken about this on Patreon many times. It's nothing to be afraid of. It's nothing to panic about. I've given you many examples in the past cycles, how when that stuff happened, all you had to do was dollar cost average and just relax and not panic and just follow the plan, basically, right? Once again, remember that our strategy is very simple. Buy low, sell high. We don't have to buy the exact bottom, sell the exact top. Buy low, sell high, buy very low, sell very high, right? And that's exactly what we're going to do. That's exactly what we've done in the last 2 cycles. That's exactly what we're going to do in this cycle. Perfection is life, so do not seek perfection. As we've always said, we're going to need patience. As I've been saying during all these lives in the past month, even when XRP pumped from 35 cents to roughly 90 cents and there was a huge boom. Yes, I do believe that long-term XRP is going to pump very well and deliver excellent profits in the euphoria phase when the rest of the market and coins pump. But I do not believe that it's going to happen in this year. And I do not even believe that it's going to happen next year. And I don't believe that it's going to happen anytime soon, as I've been mentioning nonstop. Same thing for Bitcoin. I do not believe that Bitcoin is going to $200,000 this year. I do not believe a new all-time high in Bitcoin. And I do not believe the new all-time high for Ethereum or $10,000 in Ethereum. Because once again, when you look at everything, when you look at percentages, when you look at time frames, when you look at what's going on in the world macro-wise, when you look at the stock markets, when you look at basically fractals, it makes absolutely no sense whatsoever for any coins to make all-time highs this year that are basically the leaders and blue chips of the crypto world that really push the market upwards. We do have some coins that are basically putting in new all-time highs. For example, just yesterday I published an update for the $99 tier. We sold 10% of a coin of one of the 50 to 100x coins. I sent a message out to everybody just to make sure that even if you didn't read the post, I hope you got the notification in the email and you went and you sold at roughly that price, the 10% that you were supposed to sell. So the first take profit was hit. As I've said before, some coins are going to pump earlier. The majority of the coins are going to pump together. So once again, there's nothing to worry about. And currently, we remain neutral. Remember that we remain neutral, and we just let the market develop and do what it does. Number one thing that I keep reiterating during every single live that we're doing here, please, for the love of God, do not force entries. What do I mean by do not force entries? For example, currently Bitcoin is out of the accumulation phase. You should not be buying Bitcoin here. You should not be buying Ethereum here. And there are many coins you should not be buying here either. For example, XRP, right? Of course, you're free to do whatever you want. I'm just talking about if you're following our strategy, if you're following what Crypto Coins Crew and Rob Art is doing, that is not something that I'm doing, and that is not something that part of the plan and part of the strategy. You're free to do whatever you want. I'm just telling you what I'm doing and what my strategy tells me. So for me, these coins are out of the accumulation phase. There are, however, coins that are still in the accumulation phase, and there are coins, just like a select few, that even have better entries that are in the Millionaire spreadsheet, right? So if you want, you can start dollar cost averaging with these coins, right? For example, once again, if you're in the page and you know which coins I'm referring to. However, if you already executed with a certain amount of money at a certain price target, let's say, for example, you were waiting for 85% crash and you bought there, do not once again buy there if the coin basically went up and then retraced and went back down. Do not buy there once again, because that is not part of the strategy. Our strategy dictates that we only buy at new lows, upon new lows. If there's no new low, we do not buy. It doesn't matter, like I said, if Bitcoin right now retraces, I don't know, back to $20,000. It doesn't matter because it's not a new low. We're not buying there. We already bought there. Bitcoin would have to go below 15K and like 12K and 10K for us to continue dollar cost averaging and following our strategy and method. Therefore, so far, like I said, this crash has not been anything special. It has not been anything out of the ordinary. High highs and high lows are still holding. The macro is still in ascending channel. If basically roughly like 24,800 breaks, and I mean, like, the market closes there, that means that a high low has been violated for Bitcoin, and that means that we're most likely going to get our lower targets for many coins out there, because as I mentioned many times with Patreon, whenever high low is not respected, Bitcoin has nuked very hard in the past. It was still in the bear market, and the only time it was in the bear market, it was during the COVID crash, but the percentage of crash was so huge that it might as well have been a bear market. For example, the crash was 72%, and in this cycle, Bitcoin crashed 78%. So it's pretty much like a bear market crash. The point is, this crash is going to be major if it doesn't hold. Once again, nothing to worry about, nothing to panic about, right? It's not like something that we haven't foreseen. The only problem that a lot of people will have with that, for example, 15K Bitcoin doesn't hold, is that the market cycle is going to lengthen. Me personally, I don't mind it lengthening as long as basically more targets are executed. Currently, there's nothing to suggest that, as I mentioned. Currently, TA-wise, technically wise, looking at proof and evidence, not theories, basically, on what we think is going to happen. But if we strictly look at numbers, high highs and high lows are being made. High lows are currently being respected. We're still in a ascending channel. Stocks indexes are just a few percentages below their all-time highs. So I would love to see them breach their all-time highs and make new all-time highs, because historically when that happened, Bitcoin made an all-time high, and then many altcoins went on to make new all-time highs, and also some of the alts really rallied. So at the end, what do we do? What do we do currently? We hold our positions. We do not force entries. We relax. We let the market do what it does. If we get the new lows and the targets on our Millionaire spreadsheet are hit, we're going to execute in accordance with the Millionaire spreadsheet. If they're not hit, we do nothing. We sit on our hands and we hold. If the market does not go lower, does not give us entries, and it keeps going high and building high highs and high lows, it always has done in the last two cycles, and it basically sticks to roughly 4-year cycles that are lengthening a little bit. We execute our sells, we ladder out, and we start setting trailing take profits for every single coin to make sure that we get out in profit. Even if the price targets are not met, it guarantees that we get out in great profit. Otherwise, there's not really much to talk about, right? There's no point in trying to predict exactly what it's going to do right now, because whatever it does, we follow our strategy. If it goes high enough, we'll start selling. If it goes low enough, we'll start buying, right? I'm really not sure what else we can say here on the live without like really revealing information that I'm going to only tell patrons. I'm currently waiting for market to do something for a certain level to be either lost or regained to write a patron market update. As I said, I don't just like write updates for the sake of writing updates. Like many content creators there. I write it when it's relevant and when it's when it's warranted. If you're a patron member, once again, you can always send me a DM if you have a question. Maybe if you sent it once and I didn't get back to you, send it again. Maybe somehow I missed it. You never know, because like I said, there are thousands of members, so maybe somehow I skipped it. So just send it again. If I haven't gotten back to you in 24 hours, send it again, basically, and I'll get back to you. So yeah, let's see what you're saying, my friends. Reba Bunhead is saying, hey there, bud, how you doing? Philip Fickle, good to see you here, brother. Morning to you too. Will, good evening. How are you doing, my friend? Hope you're well. Calculon, good to see you. Reba Bunhead is saying, you still feel like BNB will do good in the bull market? I feel like that is one of the coins that is part of my strategy, and I'm going to stick to my strategy. It has nothing to do with feeling. It has to do with mathematics and probabilities. If I'm going to start basing things that in my market strategy on feelings, I'm not going to do very well. So I don't base it on the feelings. It has nothing to do with what I feel. It's what I see mathematically and probability wise. Every single coin out there is a risk, and therefore we diversify into every single coin. But it's in a strategy for a reason. The reason being that I believe that mathematically and speaking and percentage-wise speaking, and if we look at probabilities, yes, I believe that it has a lot more chances than many other coins out there to perform well. Love 006 is saying, hey Rob, hey there, brother. He goes on to say, I've been a Patreon subscriber for a few months now, learning a lot from Northern California. Enjoy your evening. Thank you, brother. Great to have a member here, and thank you for the kind word. Oh, Belly Chavez is here. It's nice to see you during these lives. I already memorized you. Belly says, hi Rob, good morning from sunny Cali. Thank you for your dedication. I love your support. I don't check my crypto Twitter as much and definitely less trust. Cheers. Thank you very much, Belly, for the nice comments, and it's nice to have another member here. Very easy hydroponics Alan is saying, and isn't this the longest sideways action we have had in any market since the beginning? That's a good question. That's a good question, my friend. I can't answer that off the top of my head because, once again, I do so much TA every single day, and I look at so many different charts. Maybe it's a good thing you pointed it out, and I'll check that out. Something that we'll have to look at. I guess I'm just concentrating on other factors right now. Ismail Muhammad is here. Good to see you here, brother. He's saying, hi, Rob. So happy to join here. It's been a while. Sentiment is BTC is going to 24,000, then we go higher, but not new all-time high this year. Ismail Muhammad, I definitely do not believe in a new all-time high this year for Bitcoin or Ethereum or XRP. I do not believe in major pumps this year. That has always been the case. If you're part in Patreon, you know that from the scratch, from the get-go, that's nobody expected anything grand this year. The market is doing what it's always done so far, right? Higher highs, higher lows being put in after a roughly 80% crash for Bitcoin after roughly 400 days. So nothing new here. Everything is going the way it has always done, been happening. What we want to see, if this is to continue, and if the market is to do what it has always done in the last two cycles, we want to see higher highs and higher lows being built, and we want to see the S&P 500 and the Dow make new all-time highs. Then I will feel a lot more like we are repeating exactly what has happened in the past, more or less, But I want to reiterate, I come here every single day, right? Anything can happen in the financial world because, right, whenever you buy something, risk is involved. So I come here every single day to reiterate this one thing, right? Because I do not want people to be taken by surprise or taken aback and think that we haven't foreseen something like this. We have foreseen it, what I'm about to mention. That's exactly why we have the targets in the million spreadsheet that we have, right? That's exactly why they're there. The reason being, because there can always be a black swan event. The reason being that because Bitcoin can easily go below $10,000 or $5,000, that Ethereum can easily go to the price targets that we have and maybe even lower, and that just like in the last cycles, we'll probably might have to hold our coins at a loss for a while, just like we did in the last two cycles. So I want people to be mentally prepared for this. You know what I mean? It's just like the last two cycles were no different. I mentioned several times that, for example, in the last cycle, I started buying Bitcoin at $6,800 to $3,600, right? That was the range I was waiting for to start dollar cost averaging at new lows, right? So my first entry on Bitcoin alone, first one was down 52% at one point, and that was the smallest loss, I believe, unrealized loss. Of course, I did not sell. I kept dollar cost averaging, brought down the average when everything boomed, sold, right? There were coins in my portfolio that I bought after a roughly 90% crash, and at one point they were down roughly 90%. But the thing, what you do is you keep dollar cost averaging and diversifying at new lows, without letting the fear and the depression of the market and constant basically doom boys and constant basically recession narratives get to you, because these are the best buying opportunities in the world. When you look back at history during these depressing, terrible times, especially like if you bought a coin after a 90% crash and then it drops another 90%, if you're that lucky and you buy again, right, which is once again incorporated into the millionaire spreadsheet strategy, you are so lucky when you look at this historically, right? Yes, you might have to wait longer. Yes, Michael cycles might have lengthened, and yes, you might tack on 2 or 3 more years. But the beauty of it is that the ROI is going to be even bigger when euphoria kicks in, right? That you're going to make either way the kind of money in this market that you're not going to make anywhere else, as long as you're managing your expectations, right? As long as you're not basically the kind of moon boy saying that we're going to go to the moon now, that we're going to go to the moon then, and you basically look at the market in a healthy way, right? And you realize basically that you should not be scared when there's fear everywhere, but you should be greedy. You're going to do well. And as long as you realize also when everything pumps hard and euphoria phase kicks in, because euphoria phase will kick in, has kicked in during every single cycle of every single speculative market, stock indexes, stocks, and crypto, you name it, basically, right? Once it kicks in, as long as you're fearful when others are greedy, you're going to do well. Just like Warren Buffett says, right? All you got to do is be greedy when others are fearful, and fearful when others are greedy. So it's easier said than done, right? And once again, those words are really, really etched into the millionaire spreadsheet, right? That's why I wrote out the plan in advance before this crash started, right? Because when I wrote the plan and I published it on Patreon, the people who joined, the very first wave of people that joined, some of them were asking for a refund, saying that these crashes are never going to come, and that I'm basically a scammer, and I'm full of it. That adoption and institutional adoption and utility will not let the prices crash, and that Bitcoin is about to go to $250,000, not crash roughly 80 or 70, 80, and 90%. That I don't know, Doge is about to go to $1, or that Ethereum is about to pump to 20 or 30K. So give me back my money because you scammed me out of $5. So, and I would give the people back like double, $10, saying no problem, here you go. And then some of these people came back saying, I'm sorry, you were right. You know what I mean? So you have to realize what I'm trying to say is that this plan was written out in advance before these crashes came. So there's nothing for you to be surprised about, right? If you're prepared, you're ready, you should not be surprised by anything, right? Once again, remain neutral. We're not bearish nor bullish. Remain neutral, right? Wait for the right entries. Just like I've done in the past, every single time an entry in a millionaire spreadsheet is hit, I make a market update. If you've been a Patreon member here, you can confirm this. If you've been a Patreon member for a year or something, you can confirm this. That every single time there was a need to execute a buy, I told you about it. The last one being XLM at 7 cents before it pumps to 20 cents, right? So I'm always there. I'm always following the strategy. If you want to reach out, ask me questions. I'm always there. Sometimes it's going to get tough, guys. Sometimes it's going to get scary. But this is very, very important to make sure you manage your psychology and you have the right market mindset to make it in the space. You know what I mean? Sometimes it is going to get boring and nothing is going to happen. Sometimes it's going to seem like investing into crypto is a bad idea and that is going to zero. That's it. Tell me what's going to happen to you psychologically. Let's say Bitcoin goes for roughly $5,000, right? Your answer should be that you're ready for that for those rough estimates and that scenario, and that you would not be shocked or scared. That should be your answer. Because if your answer is that you would be scared, that means once again you have the wrong market mindset, right? And let's say right now, if those crashes did not come and the market pumps further and will start making new highs, and the market goes crazy, right? You should be prepared for that also if you have great entries that were executed in the millionaire spreadsheet, right? So that you don't feel like you're missing out and then following in and chasing green candles and getting dumped on and getting used at exit liquidity. Like I said, at this point in the market, you should be neutral. You have bags that have been bought much lower. There are great entries that have been bought after major, huge crashes. We'll not chase bottoms either way. If the market crashes much further and if we get new lows, we execute and we follow and we dollar cost average. Nothing really difficult. Nothing complicated, like nothing genius about it. It's so simple. But the problem is that our emotions get in the way, right? Doubts come up, right? Fear kicks in. You're like, okay, I don't want to lose this money. Greed kicks in. But if you simply switch everything off, right, and you just look at math, you look at probabilities, you look at percentages, you look at time frames, you just look at basically what speculative markets have done all along, you realize that all you got to do is be patient and follow the plan and not let emotions get you, right? Because so many people lose money in this market by being emotional, by experiencing FOMO or experiencing For example, experiencing the fear of missing out on everything is pumping. We're experiencing the fear of you know, buying when they're supposed to buy. So they're basically scared to buy when they're supposed to buy. You know what I mean? Many people do not have it in them psychologically to buy their own blood. You know what I mean? It's very difficult. I even have a diary from back in the day, right, where I was reading what I wrote down. And I remember when I was buying some coins, like I don't know, let Doge even, right? When I was buying Doge, when I bought after like a 90% crash, and then it would crash roughly 90% again. And I was literally writing, I feel like an idiot, right? I feel like this might go to zero. I feel like all these coins, no matter why I diversified and all that, I feel like a dumbass. But this is what my strategy was. This is what my plan told me, that I should just ignore the pain. I should ignore the fear. I should dollar cost average at new lows without trying to catch the bottom, stay cold hearted like a computer, and just wait. And it paid off majorly twice already, right? And it changed my life completely. I became financially free. I'm basically semi retired because of crypto, right? Because of the strategy, because of being able to execute and control my feelings, as difficult as it is. You know what I mean? So I just want everybody to be mentally prepared. You know what I mean? For both major upside and major downside. Currently, we're neutral. If we do crash very hard, we're going to become very bullish. And if we pump very hard, we're going to become very bearish. Right now, we're neutral. Right, we're neutral. Like I said several times, I have like roughly 55% of my investment portfolio in the market and roughly 45% on the sidelines. And I would rather miss out with that 45% because 55% is more than enough. It's wonderful entries, a lot of money to give me life-changing gains once again. But I would rather miss out with the other 45% that is sidelined, because if what happens is a major, huge crash, right, and a huge nuke in crypto, I cannot bring down my average significantly. I cannot execute in accordance with the plan. I cannot basically make money and amazing returns when the euphoria phase kicks in, right? Because it will kick in sooner or later. But if I force it in now and then basically market crashes and nukes, I can't follow the strategy. That's it. I don't have money to bring down my average. Now I'm really pissed off because maybe a coin is down like 90% after having crashed 90%, or I don't know, 50% after having crashed 85%, and I can't follow the plan. Now I'm pissed off, right? Because it's like I'm missing these amazing opportunities and I feel like I wasn't prepared for it. And you're like, oh my God, I should have just followed the strategy. Now I can't execute. Now I'm just going to have to wait for it to pump 100% just to break even. So do not ever force entries. You will only buy with equal amounts of money, roughly give or take, only upon new lows, making sure that there's a good difference between these new lows. Very easy, as long as you have to think like a computer, right? I keep telling you this, like a robot, like pure logic, no emotions. Think that your robot, whose program is to only buy at new lows, right? You have no other function when it comes to investing. So you leave that whole human nature behind, right? You leave all your emotions outside when it comes to crypto. In crypto, you're a computer. You have a program. You cannot function outside of the program. Your program is only buy at new lows. That's it. That's it. You have no fear of missing out because you already have wonderful entries that are much lower than here. You already bought after major crashes, so the market pumps. You're not sidelined. You're not left behind. You're going to make life-changing money either way. But if the market crashes very hard, your program is telling you that you only buy at new lows, and you have to prepare for it, right? I hope I got the message across, my friends. Ismail Mohammed is saying, hi, Rob. So happy to join here as it's been a while. Okay, write that one. Sorry. Very easy hydroponics. Alan saying, good to hear your insight, Rob. Cheers, brother. Thank you for that. Sergio, good to see you here, brother. Sergio Azevedo. Roger Richner, good to have you here. Good, but good to have you here. Thomas Horton saying, let's go, Rob. Cheers, my friend. Ismail Mohammed saying, hi, Rob. Something I realized about why I said it's important to first an amount of $10,000 and invest, because I think buying tokens with $20, $30, $40 doesn't yield returns at all. Well, of course, it's much better to buy. Like I said, it's preferable to throw like $100 at each coin if you have very small capital. But as I've said before, Ismail Mohammed, like I have been a regular Joe, right? I understand that not everybody has the same opportunity, but I have been a regular Joe. I have worked a 9 to 5. I've been in situations. I mentioned this several times in tweets also. Back when I was basically getting absolutely killed by medical bills for my relative, very close relative, and we're fighting cancer for 3 years. and the bills were like nonstop, and I had to keep paying and helping, and I gladly would do it all over again, right? My point being that if I was able to work a 9 to 5 as a regular Joe and spend huge amounts of my capital basically on medical bills and still make it out and basically work my ass off and put in the hours, because I really wanted it. I really wanted it. Like the thing is, the thing is, you probably heard about this success speech. When you want something, you really want as bad as you want to breathe, right? If you want something as bad as you want to breathe, you're gonna get your ass up and you're gonna get it done. And I wanted it. You know what I mean? So there were no excuses. There wasn't like I don't have enough capital. It was like I don't have enough capital. What do I do about it to make sure that I do have enough capital? How do I? It was very difficult to put together $12,800 at that moment. But it's like, what do I do in order to put together that money, right? And it was like, do this, do that, go work your ass off harder and smarter, throw in a few trades. Blew my account twice before that, like I said, with sums that were like not small for me, like $1,600, $1,800. Still did not give up, still kept going. You know what I mean? No excuses. There are no excuses in this game, Ismail Muhammad. What I'm trying to say, brother, is that do what needs to be done to put together 10K to invest. Basically, do what needs to be done, brother. I do not want to sound harsh or anything. I'm just being, honest. How I've been. Like, there are excuses and there are results. I've been always harsh to myself. I've never allowed myself to simply take excuses and just be sidelined, whatever. I've always been true to myself, and basically I use this attitude not just towards everybody. I use it towards myself. If I can demand something of myself and get it done, I think it's also reasonable to demand something of others and watch them get it done. Do not feel basically. Don't ever feel sorry for yourself, because nobody's going to feel sorry for you. Do not ever feel like giving yourself a break, because nobody's going to give you a break in this life. And do not ever feel like anything's going to be handed to you in this life. You got to take shit. You know what I mean? Sorry for the words. I mean, there's nobody's coming to give us a break. Nobody's going to go out there to give us something. We have to get out there and we have to get it. You know what I mean? We have to really, really get out there and we have to take it. You know what I mean? And then you're going to have what you want. And at the beginning is hard work. You have to get 2-3 jobs. Go get 2-3 jobs, but put that money together. You know what I mean? Ismail Muhammad, any promo coming for $99 cheer? For now, no, my friend. For now, no. Maybe in for like during Christmas time, maybe I'll do a promo for 1 month. We'll see. But for now, no, my friend. International Crypto Asset Ninja saying, wonderful day, Rob. Another good day with this community. Happy to pull up with y'all. Let's get it. Absolutely, my friend. Good to have you here. Philip Fickle saying, love the discipline of your trading. Cheers, brother. Thank you very much. And I appreciate it. And thank you guys for all the regulars that are always here during every single live. Thomas Horton, Ismail Muhammad. I know you're here often. Roger Richner, Sergio Zavito, Belly Chavez, Very Easy Hydroponics Allen, International Crypto Asset Ninja, Will JH. I mean, so many Calculon, you're here often. So basically, guys, it's really awesome to have you here. Like, I memorized your names already. Trust me. Some of the people like Gabonito is not here today, but it's good that Will is here. Some of you I've met in life. I hope to meet you again. And I hope to meet more of you again. Meet more of you in real life. So it's not like I don't memorize. It's really awesome to have you here, guys, and it's really awesome to have like-minded people in a small community where we're communicating. So whenever you're here, just drop a simple hi, so I know that you're here. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I said in the beginning, so that I know that you're present. So Darcy is also here. You see, Darcy, awesome to have you. I remember you too. Hacks, oh good. How are you doing? So yeah, my friends. So basically, it's nearly been 30 minutes. So let's end it at this. Remember, sticking to the strategy, right? We keep it neutral right now. No forcing entries. The sideline capital remains sideline. The entries that we executed, prices that we executed in accordance with the million spreadsheet, we hold. The coins that we bought in the $99 tier, we hold. We do not dollar cost average with them. If the market nukes hard and they're down, then we're going to be, the only thing that we're going to do is look for more potential 50 to 100x gems. We do not get scared, right? We do not FOMO to green candles. We do not chase anything. We ignore the noise, basically, right? Do not go, like I said, do not go reading about utility use cases, looking into the projects. Do not fall in love with projects. Do not get married to your bags. Diversify dollar cost average into different narratives. Remember, like I keep saying, like even if you're not part of the millionaire spreadsheet, even if you're not part of the patient community of Crypto Coins Crew, still yourself go out there and search for stuff. Look for AI coins, gaming coins, privacy tokens. I don't know, some many use case coins with different utility. Buy some Bitcoin, get some Ethereum, smart contract coins. Like basically get it all. You know what I mean? Diversify into different coins with equal amounts of money, without favoring one blue chip over another blue chip, without favoring one mid cap over another mid cap, without favoring one small cap over another small cap. Get some risky plays. Get some like get some plays where the risk is more or less okay. Get some plays where the risk is much lower. You know what I mean? Just really diversify with everything that you do. Do not think that basically some coin has great utility that the coin will pump just because of that narrative. Historically speaking, that has not been a great way to measure the potential huge pump of a coin. You know, I do it very differently. Once again, if you want to buy some coins that are still in the accumulation phase, join the $99 tier. There are many coins that can still be bought. There are some coins that even have better entries than I have, which means you'll have bigger ROI in the euphoria phase. With our main play, once again, for the millionaire spreadsheet, do not force entries, my friends. Please do not force entries. Like I said, you have to have the right mindset in this market. And the mindset right now should be that it's better to miss out with the sideline capital than be in a situation if everything crashes hard and we can't bring down an average dollar cost average. Because once again, we have enough great entries as it is. We're not chasing the bottom, and we're not basically greedy people. We're trying to seek perfection. You know, like I said, right from the get-go, we're not going to get all the entries. We're not going to get all the exits. But we have a strategy that is built to make sure that we'll still get in low and get out high, and just still guarantees us great entries and great sells. So yeah, I guess I said everything I wanted to say. Do you have any questions before I go? Hacks, thanks, brother. I love doing these lives with you too, my friends. Dareem Lindsay, it's good to see you here. How you doing, bro? Belly Childs is saying, thank you, Rob. Thank you, Belly. She goes on to say, have a very nice day. Cheers to all the Crypto Coins crew on here. Absolutely, my friend. Thank you. Very good message. Yes, to every single Crypto Coins crew member. Cheers, my friends. Good to have you here. All right. Looks like no questions are forthcoming. Been 32 minutes, my friends. Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Once again, if you're a Patreon member, send me a DM if you have any questions. Love you guys. Bye-bye. Yes, Vinny50 says, hit the likes. Absolutely. Please hit the likes. Bye, my friends.